Imagine a world without potato chips. It's 5 p.m, just before dinner, and you're sitting by the fire. No chips. You're lounging on the beach, sipping an ice cold drink. No chips. Having a picnic at the park. No chips. Chips. That crunchy taste when you reach for the salty delights. The taste is heaven. Sour cream and chives, burger rings ready salted, whatever you love, you wouldn't have them if it wasn't for my Poppa. Poppa was introduced to a man by the name of Lesusi. Not a Kiwi name, I know. Les discussed at great lengths his disappointment in the fact that New Zealand had no potato chips. One thing led to another, and before you know it, they had hatched a plan to make their own. Easy, I hear you say, but when faced with making batch after batch after batch, they needed to come up with an idea that enabled them to mass produce the chips, as no machinery was available. Now, Les was an entrepreneurial kind of guy, and he experimented initially with the drum of a washing machine. My Poppa tells a story that Les was very particular about what kind of potatoes made the best chips, and so every week they scoured the markets to find stock. My Poppa was a serious kind of man that liked to make sure that everything added up, and the worst thing that could happen to this new business venture could be a shortage of potatoes. Not to worry, my Poppa had just purchased a house with a nice garage, and so they proceeded to fill the garage with sacks of potatoes, much to my nep's dismay. Fast forward to 2020, and I bet there's not one person in this room that hasn't heard of Bluebird Chips. Now in its 66th year, the brand itself has been a roaring success, but it's the power of advertising that has made it so. My Poppa, like me, loved penguins. Not really crunchy on the outside and salty in the middle, but they certainly provided a platform for marketing the brand. Now, I could go on and tell you the rest of the story, but to be fair, it's a story of success and failure. When making the chips seemed easy, those distributing them was much harder. Les and Poppa realised they needed to sell the business to someone who can make it as what it is today. Poppa was loyal to the brand until the end. I'll never forget visiting his home and always relying on a cupboard of Bluebird Chips, his favourite sour cream and chives. Poppa always told me, Toby, anything is possible if you set your heart to it. In 1968, who would have thought that chips could be so successful when associated with washing machines and penguins?